Hey, all right. Well, good morning again. So, yesterday we were talking a little bit deeper dive onto the tortoise, the hare, and the rat story, right? This model for the BioPsychoStress model. The idea about it helping us to make better decisions and what the impact of our biology, of our psychology, and what stress can do to both of those, and how we can manage that for ourselves, for our spouses, for our families, help our kids grow up to be healthier, stronger folks that have more resilience in life. All right. So when you think about this model, the biology, well, what is the biology, right? It's the physical part of who we are. So if you're thinking about it like a computer, the physical hardware is what would be our brain in our bodies. Okay. Psychology would be the software. That would be the programming that we get from family, from culture, from school, from work, etc. Okay. Now remember, stress is the definition is the negative emotional energy coming at you from outside of your personal boundary. And so one of the strengths of the tortoise in our story is that the tortoise has a thick shell. And when they want to move, they pop their legs out, they move towards their goal. And when they want to eat, they pop their head out and they eat, or whatever the case is. But they've got this thick shell that is a personal boundary to help repel negative stress and other things. Okay, so stress is like data, it's like information. And when it's coming at you, what happens? Well, if it's good stress, okay, you have a promotion on your job, your anxiety level will rise a little bit. Your enthusiasm level will rise a little bit. You have all these changes biochemically going on in your body. And so you're getting excited. Maybe your hands get sweaty, your heart is racing. You might be laughing. You might be, crying because it's something you've always wanted to achieve, whatever the case is. You've got this biological impact in the psychology that is also occurring, and it is from this change. Okay. Now, I know stress can be negative. Well, okay. So now, what if you're thinking about, okay, it's going to require that I maybe change school districts, or it's going to require that I have to figure out what I'm going to do about my kids and their school schedule and stuff, because now I have a different level of responsibility. So those are negatives, even though it's in the midst of something that's big and positive. All right. So, but what happens if the data is actually a virus, right? It's, you've got these antivirus programs, but what happens if this data is a virus? The stress is truly negative. It's truly bad for you. What's going to happen if you allow it to penetrate and to stay? Well, one of the things is it's going to corrupt and destroy your software. So it's going to, if it stays too long, it's going to negatively impact how you think, how you behave. You start to take on the behavior of this negative stress. And I will tell you, I have lived that. When we were struggling massively financially, we had things going on because of the Guillain-Barré and how it was limiting how I could work. That was huge. And it was everything I could do day in and day out for an extremely long time to keep my sanity, to keep things together. And there were times I failed. There were times I snapped at my wife when she did not deserve it. There were times when I snapped at my kids when they did not deserve it. That stress affected me, but it also affected my wife, how she treated me, how she treated the kids. It affected the kids and how they treated each of us and each of themselves. And it was stuff that we took a long time and a very focused effort to learn how to overcome. So I'm talking to you about this from personal experience. Now, let me give you an example of another, let me give you, I guess, a different example of how a negative input could affect your kids. All right. And it's something you need to be aware of. If you are dealing with angry, depressing information and people who are giving you things that are dividing people and that are separating people instead of bringing them together to unite people and to get them and communities and families to work together to achieve positive things. So we're talking about things that are woke, things that are leftist, things that like school teachers teaching your kids things that are indoctrinating them. They are actively trying to destroy your family values. So you've got to apply an antivirus to that. And the antivirus in this instance is going to be you need to confront the teacher and the school district and the school board. Okay. Number two, you need to teach your kids with wisdom and compassion about how to withstand that negativity, that pessimism, because don't forget, the rat spirals down into depression and anxiety and doubt and worry and fear. And that negative spiral hurts your kids. Okay. You want to help them to rise into a positive, more constructive decision-making process. Now, maybe their decisions are not always constructive, but as long as they're learning, they are maturing and they are growing. And that's the important part, okay? Negative emotional energy divides people, it does not unite them. The same is true about your families. So you have to help your kids learn to make stronger, more constructive decisions. They will become, and so will you, and so will your spouse, your husband, your wife. You guys will become much more like the tortoise, stronger shell. Okay, more personal boundary. You're filling in the gaps. Those shells don't get cracked. Okay, you've got a tortoise, and it's an old tortoise. That shell does not crack. Okay, and that helps you to become less like the rat, which is trying to drag you down anyways. All right. So stronger constructive decisions are like that antivirus and that software. Now, here's the next thing. This is true for any type of decision making that you guys have to make. Any type of decision making you have to make. It's true for business. It's true for your family. It's true for living life. The better decisions you make, the more you grow, the more you actually will improve your biology and psychology. Let me give you an example. I made a decision back in May that I was going to lose a minimum of 30 pounds, and I wanted to lose even more as a target. I shot a high target, but I lost 30 pounds by the end of July. Okay. So in 3 months, I lost 30 pounds, and I did it in a healthy way. I did it through smart exercise because I'm still dealing with some of the residuals from the Guillain-Barré. I did it with eating better quality food, making conscious decisions about eating better quality food, and the type of exercise that I could do safely. And I did it. I achieved my goal. Now I have a longer goal. My goal now is to get down to 200 pounds. And then the next goal is to get down to 190. Why? Because I want to continue those healthy trends. So now, even today, I made a decision and I took on an additional exercise to help me to do that. Okay. So it improves and strengthens your biology. But guess what? You don't get all angry and pissed off at the world when you're hanging out with positive people. So those are good decisions. If you're hanging out with negative, angry people who just want to tear everything down, that is not helping you. And that is going to impact your family. That is going to impact your friends. It is going to limit the circle of influence you have because people don't want to be a positive and constructive people, don't want to be around that. Now, there's something else we need to talk about. And that is that when I was in my deepest, darkest, most painful physical pain, when I was in those deepest, darkest moments, there were times when my thoughts were not good. They were not healthy. Okay. I had thoughts about checking out. I I had thoughts about what would be the benefit to my family if I was no longer alive. Would it help them? And I had to consciously decide that I was not going to follow those thoughts. Those thoughts are a lie. They come from hell. I literally was struggling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for years with nerve pain. And I am still struggling, but it is better. And I have had to learn how to overcome that. And I am telling you, please just listen to me for a minute. I am telling you, if you have had those thoughts or you are having those thoughts, that is stress affecting your psychology. And if it affects your psychology long enough, you will turn off your hardware. So let's not do that. Please talk to someone. Therapy and medication can help you strengthen your biology so that you can make better decisions, and then you can recover your software. Okay? You can get reprogrammed in a positive, constructive way and create that positive spiral. You healing helps everyone. It helps you first. It helps your family second. It helps your community third. It helps our countries. And it helps our world. When you are making better decisions for you, you are taking an active role in guiding your family to a healthier and happier life. We need you. And I am grateful that you are watching this podcast. I am grateful that you are listening to this because you're important. It's something that I was reading this morning in my own private meditation. It's from Colossians chapter 3, verses 23 and 24. It says, whatever you do, do your work heartily, as for the Lord rather than for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance. It is the Lord Christ whom you serve. Now that's my faith. But I have friends who are Muslim. I have friends who are Hindu. I have friends who are Buddhist. I have relatives who practice a variety of different faiths. And that's okay. We don't have to agree on everything, and that's okay also. We all have our personal boundaries. I'm asking you to do what you do to heal and learn this stuff. That's why I'm talking about it. We're going to take a long time and talk about a lot of this. But I thank you for watching this. I am blessed that you do. And I just ask that you would like and share, tell people about the podcast, tell people about the information that we're sharing so that dads and moms can grow and become stronger and bring their kids along and help everybody to be more united and more unified. We need that. We need that. And we need you. So let me bless you and send you on your way. Father, thank you for all the moms, the dads, the kids that listen to these podcasts and watch them. Lord, I am grateful for every single one of them. Help me to share the just inspiration and encouragement to strengthen them, to unify them. But Lord, let this be a positive seed in all of their lives. And I ask that you would bring them along and help them to achieve the things that you have for them. And that will it in turn bless all of us. In Jesus' name, amen. Take care. Have a good one. We will catch you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.